lot of it is fear-mongering. There have been no discussions with the U.S. or anyone else. However, I repeat, should Venezuela invade Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago will definitely step forward in defense of our cousins or brothers and sisters. I will dare to do what I have to do to keep the people of Trinidad and Tobago safe. That is my priority. I've said TNT first. That is my priority. I have no intention, we've had no discussions of invading Venezuela, of stepping onto Venezuelan soil, nothing of the sort.
If ever we needed a reminder of how unstable and how dangerous this world that we live in is, and how vulnerable our Caribbean region is, it is now with us, facing a multiplicity of threats. We don't need to look any further than the menacing vessels, military vessels from the United States across the Caribbean Sea, including what is reputed to be the world's largest warship. These are not times of pirates anymore. This is 2025, and we have cause to be duly concerned, because even as that is happening, one of the most dangerous hurricanes for the 2025 Atlantic season is bearing down on our brothers and sisters in the Northern Caribbean. Melissa, we are facing, my friends, an extremely dangerous and untenable situation in Southern Caribbean. And as a people with a tragic history of being subjected to centuries of big power, orchestrated genocide, terrorism, and warfare, and as a small state, we have invested tremendous time and energy and effort in establishing and maintaining our region as a zone of peace. Peace is critical to all that we do in this region. And now that peace is being threatened, we have to speak up. I believe that the time has come for us, therefore, to be able to ensure that we do not accept that any entity has the right to engage in extrajudicial killings of persons that they suspect of being involved in criminal activities. As I said, we stand for the rule of law, and we believe that if there is other intelligence available that would cause you to take action that is an immediate threat to you as a nation, then you have a duty to share it with us. But on the face of it, conflating law enforcement with military action is a dangerous step, as Kerry Simmons advocated a few weeks ago. We equally do not accept that any nation in our region or the Greater Caribbean should be the subject of an imposition upon them of any unilateral expression of force and violence by any third party or nation. If there are conflicts and disputes that are in need of resolution, then the place that they need to be taken for such resolution is the United Nations organization. And the methodology that must be deployed for the resolution is one of negotiation and peaceful actions taken in order to ensure that we can settle disputes. Barbados has always been that place, and that is why we were the location for the opposition and government in Venezuela to sign the pact here a few years ago, because we are friends of all and satellites of none. And I say so comforted that this has been the position of every single government of the country since independence. The violent actions that this buildup has led to needs to be the subject of dialogue. And I have said before, almost every war in the world in history has been ended by dialogue. So let us have dialogue to prevent the war from starting rather than to stop it when it has started.
Hello guys, welcome to Auntie Yami channel. How are you doing? Increased tension in the Caribbean. What is it all about? Today in this video, I'm going to talk about what is going on in the Caribbean, because there is an issue between Venezuela and US. So Trinidad and Tobago is stuck in the middle. But according to sources, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla, is on the side of US, while she is making some threats that she will leave the CARICOM because she is there to support what US is doing. However, I'm going also to talk about Mia Mottley. You know, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, will never keep quiet, and she has condemned the act of US bringing war in the Caribbean. Something that is gonna cause a big division in the Caribbean, especially the CARICOM states. However, Trinidadian Prime Minister has confirmed that if Venezuela is gonna attack Guyana, then Kamla, in her speech, she has confirmed that if anything happens to Guyana, then she's not gonna hesitate to protect her cousins who are Guyanese. Trinidad and Tobago, they are acting more independently of CARICOM. This is a strong indication. Listen carefully to these videos about what are people saying, especially ordinary people, about all this. You know yourself that it's not really safe for the whole Caribbean if this war is gonna get worse. And I can understand where citizens are coming from, and also I really appreciate and thank Mia Mottley for her to speak out, because you can see how these countries will divide. So let's continue to subscribe, like, comment, and share as you continue to listen to these videos.
Now, while Jamaica was preoccupied with Hurricane Melissa, what on earth was going on in Trinidad? I'm Kalila from Money Media, giving you money news for the Caribbean. Tensions are extremely high across the Caribbean right now, as Trinidad and Tobago is distancing itself from CARICOM, the regional body it helped to found, all over issues between the United States and Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has said that she no longer considers CARICOM a reliable partner. The PM said that over the next couple of years, there will be a significant realignment of her country's foreign policy. She said, quote, "We will mainly focus on increasing linkages and cooperation with countries outside the region. We need to look for new partners in trade, investment, and security." According to the PM, those changes are necessary to improve Trinidad's economic and physical security. Now, some of this is stemming from the conflict between the United States and Venezuela. We have a separate video explaining that situation. But in summary, Trinidad has agreed to help the U.S. in its war on drugs against Venezuela. CARICOM has said it believes the region must stay a zone of peace, but Persad-Bissessar said TNT can't stay a zone of peace because of how close they are to Venezuela. Additionally, some CARICOM member states have expressed support for Venezuela, so they've taken Venezuela's side. Now remember, Venezuela has been CARICOM's ally for several years, including the 2010s, when we all benefited greatly from Petrocaribe. This was a policy that allowed Caribbean governments to basically buy oil from Venezuela at extremely concessionary rates, while only paying for a fraction of the cost up front and financing the rest invest at very low interest rates. Now, this was a lifesaver for the Caribbean at a time when oil prices were sky high. Now, cue Kamla's statement about realigning Trinidad's foreign policy. She hasn't exactly said that they're leaving CARICOM, but no longer sees CARICOM as a reliable partner. Seems like fighting words to me. Strong language, and it does open up a lot of questions. It's like the Caribbean's version of Brexit. And if Trinidad does leave, what would that mean for trade?
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is debunking claims that Trinidad and Tobago is under threat as a result of the ongoing tensions between the United States and Venezuela. Speaking to the media outside the Assembly legislature on Tuesday, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar addressed concerns that fishermen from Trinidad and Tobago are being affected by the military actions of the United States.
You stay in TNT waters and you'll be safe. Trinidad is not a target. Tobago is not a target. So I totally disagree with the narrative out there by some, that we're exposing our nationals to danger. As Farley said it earlier, there's war and there are rumors of war. There is no war. TNT is not a target. The targets are narco traffickers, human traffickers. Those are our targets. And you have seen some interviews I gave, some responses I gave to the media is carrying some of it, showing that there has been the drug decrease in Trinidad, the prices for the narcos, prices increasing because why? Because we're hitting them out where it is.
Prime Minister also refuted claims that the Trinidad and Tobago government has plans of separating itself from CARICOM.
Country and the head of my government of leaving CARICOM. So there's always some mischief there. What I did say, and I'll repeat, is we must also look to others. We have to look to others in the international arena. So, for example, we are looking to the UAE, we are looking to Qatar, we're looking to Bahrain, we are looking to Europe. We cannot keep closed doors and expect things to change. So CARICOM will remain as a bloc, we will remain as part of the bloc, but we have to open our wings, we have to fly.
Some alarming news this afternoon. So a communications has come out where Trinidad and Tobago are backing the United States of America and letting them know that they are for the United States and they are willing to let them use their waters and whatever need be in case they need to do something against the regime of Nicolás Maduro. Yes, just saying that things are intensifying between the United States and Venezuela. Kind of scary, not gonna lie, but as I said, Trinidad and Tobago have come out and said that they are backing the United States of America to, fight the regime in Venezuela against Nicolás Maduro. That they're giving the United States free reign to use their waters and whatever need be in order to assist them. So kind of scary, like I said, that this is actually becoming like a very serious conflict between the United States and the dictatorship and the regime of Venezuela and Nicolás Maduro. We'll see what happens. It seems to be intensifying. Scary times. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Share the video so everyone knows what's going on. I love you guys.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago has allowed a warship to dock in its waters, and they're about to conduct joint military drills. The history of the U.S. war machine is well known. They are insatiable. But let's also talk about the vassal states that have completely given up their sovereignty to fuel this war machine. Let's talk about how many of these states in the global south, and especially in the Caribbean and Latin America, have given over their sovereignty to the United States. What exactly is in it for Trinidad and Tobago to allow this? What is in it for them? Their citizens have already been murdered by the United States in their Caribbean waters, right? In international waters. Even so, instead of standing by the families who have lost their loved ones, and instead of asking the United States to bring some evidence to support the allegations that they've made that these are supposed drug traffickers, the United States Trinidad and Tobago is now a partner with the United States, not only in this aggression towards Venezuela, but also against their own citizens who now can't go out fishing, who now can't go out into their own territorial waters because of U.S. aggression. I don't think we talk enough about these leaders that we have in the Caribbean and how most of the foreign policy decisions that they make are in the service of the United States, Britain, and other international powers to the detriment of their citizens. Venezuela, say what you want about their government, but Caribbean governments have benefited, Caribbean people have benefited tremendously from the generosity of the Venezuelan government and the Cuban government. And we should not be used as vehicles of aggression towards any of these states because the U.S. want to have beef with them. To say I am disappointed in Trinidad and Tobago is an understatement. But honestly, the history of the Caribbean tells me that Trinidad is not the only one that is ready to sell out its people for United States interests. We know that Jamaica has a history of doing that, and other Caribbean countries have a history of doing that.
You know, guys, it hasn't ended from there. Let me explain to you what is happening, because at the beginning I just explained to you briefly, but now I'm going to explain to you what is really happening. Venezuela's defense minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez warned that if Trinidad and Tobago or Guyana allow their territory to be used by U.S. for action against Venezuela, then you will also receive a response. Trinidad and Tobago's government publicly rejected that they are allowing U.S. troops to use their territory for an attack on Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago did reserve its position when CARICOM restated the Caribbean region must remain a zone of peace. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said CARICOM was not a reliable partner in certain regards. The Trinidad and Tobago government appears to be aligning more with U.S.-led anti-trafficking security operations rather than the more neutral of non-interventionist position favored by some CARICOM members. The domestic tourism industry in Trinidad and Tobago, particularly on Tobago, is worried that military geopolitical tension will hurt booking flows, especially if the region is seen as less stable. What is not clear for the meantime is there is no public announcement that Trinidad and Tobago has formally requested or signed an agreement to allow U.S. forces to use its territory for a direct military operation against Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago's government has denied such claims. Anyway, I've played some videos just to get what the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is saying. And also, as I said, Mia Motre has also spoken. So, we need to compare these. And also, the citizens of that area who are concerned have also spoken. We can see there is tension because if Venezuela has suspended Trinidad gas deals over U.S. military build-up. So as you can see, there is indeed tension. Guys, what do you think about this? Drop a comment and let me know what you think, because at the end of the day, indeed, things are not okay. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Watch this video from the beginning until the end as we continue I continue to appreciate all my subscribers, both returning and new subscribers, for your love and support to this channel. Thank you, thank you. My prayers to all the Caribbean countries who have been affected by Hurricane Melissa. May God provide you with strength and continue to heal you. Thank you, thank you. God bless you abundantly. Ciao, ciao. Bye.